Welcome back to Imagination Station Network, and I have to start this episode with an admission and a thanks. This is the second part, and as much as this podcast and the other podcast only about me, it was all about me in the last one, and I didn't turn the mics on. So me and Jack sat here like wallopers, man, talking to each other, and then I went away and I was like,
It was a good conversation
It was,
as well.
man,
It was
it was
brilliant.
like-
I walked home and I was like, I've nailed that. And then you messaged, oh,
we went down the stairs. I was like, that was a great podcast. And then the next day I woke up and I was like, right, edit this. Nothing there. I was like in disbelief, thinking, what's going on? So yes, apologies, Jack, and
We're
thank
back.
you very much for gaining your time.
No worries.
Once you go, Jack, you never go back. But this one occasion,
You keep saying
he's
that.
came back. Aye, thank you for coming, man.
No
And
worries.
For people, we've got people who watch it that are all over the world, different countries. So just a wee bit about what you do and.
Hello, my name is Jack and I run a website called Borders Competitions. We started a couple of years ago and we basically offer prizes to, well, the whole UK basically. And from 2 years we started doing smaller prizes and eventually we just worked our way up and took the gamble, took the risk, and here we are. We're flying.
And Jack's a humble guy. As you'll notice, like the guests are very humble, and for me on my journey, it's nice that we have a platform that we can compliment them in what they're doing. Jack's modest. The competitions he does are, yes, it's gambling. There's no way of getting out of that. Life's a gamble, man. And I sit here saying this because I am also somebody who won it, but Jack knows how I operate and what I do. I won 10 grand and I spent something like £4. So that's what you get when you put a wee gambling. And I split the money up by Berwick and Kelso, what we're doing. So the couches you're sitting on were funded by Borders Competitions because we won it. So
Awesome, that's good.
we're
That's,
eternally thankful because we now have a platform that we can invite you on.
yeah, and I'm so happy to be here. So happy I came back.
Aye, twice. I wanted my money's worth, you know. I was like, right, I've won that. Where do you get you?
No, it's great, honestly, because we have loads of winners, but we never really hear some of the background stories. But you've actually used that money and invested it into yourself, and it's
And like everybody
amazing.
says, you know, it couldn't have came at a better time.
Yeah.
We genuinely apply for funding and stuff, and it's whatever reason that we're not meant to have it. And I said to the team, like, I had nobody else to phone. I was like, nobody's answering their phone. I've won this. Jack now wants a picture. It's only me. I stay myself. I'm single.
picture.
How am I going to get a picture? And I was like, me in my jammies.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I'll just, how will I do it? And I was like, I've got an app for that. So I went and screenshotted the picture and I got it. If you've not seen it, go on, you'll see it.
honestly, you need to check it out. It's,
Me and
it's
Paxton
brilliant.
Ted just
Yeah.
there, like living our best life. But we genuinely got to do this. You know, the podcast has been a dream for mine for a wee while, and without winning that money, it couldn't have came at a better time.
That's good to hear.
We were able to fund projects. The projects have now closed, but we were able to fund them for a wee last time. And that's something. It's like, yes, I won the money, but I felt it was like I could do so much more with it at that time. Well, I got nice tattoos as well, so I
noticed them. I've seen
get
the
a
Jaguar
Borders
one, yeah.
competition
Yeah.
on the other side.
I've been thinking about getting one, but
Hey man, it's like, yeah, how long's your company in? Because you started it.
it's February 23 was the first
23.
order, so 2 and a bit years, 2 years 5 months.
So that's a good in, because there's people out there that are genuinely interested in your story, and I'm thankful
Yeah.
that we get, because we spoke about this when I first started the podcast. I think as soon as I won the money, I said to you on the phone, I was like, hey, I'd love to get you on a show. And
Yeah,
like, Sean
yeah.
was like, don't know yet, it doesn't exist.
And you've done it. You've
Aye,
done
and
it.
it's here.
You don't hang about. You're the kind of guy that just
Nah,
goes, you know
straight-
what, I'm going to do it.
Straight in and to get
That's
somebody
how it's done.
going. It is, if you don't know how Jack's stuff operates, you'll find them. Just put Borders competition in. But first and foremost, what you'll see is a whole load of charity stuff and a whole load of stuff in not just this area. I know people who are my clients who have a new way of life with what you've done. But before we go into that, everybody wants to know how it came about and a bit more about Jack, because you're a creative, and the reason why you're here before the other 70 odd people is because you're a creative that wouldn't class yourself as a creative.
Yeah, I have that issue. And you remind me that, you know, it is creative and all that, but the way I see it, I struggle to see how it's being creative, but I do understand what you mean. And I am a terrible storyteller, so get that out of the way first. But yeah, I basically seen the idea online, and I seen other ones doing it, you know, and I basically thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it and try and make it my own, and hopefully people like it, and just see what happens. And yeah, I basically turned, you know, a small idea into a big idea, and I had no idea it would work. no idea what to do. It's a risk, it's a gamble. Went for it, made it my own, and it's doing okay.
It's doing brilliant. The fact is that you can go on there and you can spend 2 pence or 5 pence and
Yeah,
win.
we try to
10
make it
grand.
very affordable. Yeah.
Do you know, it's like how many places out there? Okay, there's the big national lottery, but you've changed lives around here. I know people that have bought houses, and I've benefited because people have bought paintings that wouldn't have been able to buy paintings.
That's so cool.
So it's like,
It's like a big circle of love.
It is, but and the fact is that you've called it Borders Competitions is a testament to you and to how you've done it. You know, that's the whole point in this, is like compliment people as you go.
I think the Borders is quite overlooked. Often
Yeah.
overlooked. There's a lot of talent here.
I'd agree
and,
with
like,
that.
hidden away,
Yeah.
and you just have to get out really.
But it's like, I'm always talking about risk, and you are a creative that you've put stuff in, you've implemented it, you've done it basically yourself apart from George there as well,
Yeah.
and your parents. And that's, I think, so the idea of this is to inspire other people to try. Obviously that's a very niche business you've got, but the basics there, the blueprints are there, that you've seen it, you know it's not a new concept,
No.
and you went for it,
Yep.
and now it's flourishing.
Everyone, like a lot, well not everyone, but a lot of people told me like, oh, there's too many of them, you know, it's never going to work. But you've just got to make it your own, man. And you know, if people don't like it, they don't like it. But if people do like it, then you know, it's bonus.
And if you'd listened to them, not that we're saying you should hate them, but if you're listening to them people, you wouldn't be there.
No.
That's the point, it's the risk factor. So, I get everybody really wants to know, what did Jack do before? Because everybody knows you as
God.
Borders Competition Jack. So how did this come about? What's the story in Jack and Ori? Have I been holding that one in for a while? What's the story
You're
in
buzzing
Jack
with
and
that.
Ori? I'm buzzing. You can tell when it's full ADHD mode. I'm like, aye, that's
Right, do you want me to start from the start?
Aye, man.
Right,
But-
so I was in my mum's womb.
A womb with a view.
This could be the longest podcast ever. Right, I'll start from school.
Yeah.
So I went to Berkshire High School in Duns, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I actually applied for university, and I was too thick to get in, basically. But it was kind of a blessing because I kind of, I don't know if I would have survived university. I know a lot of people that have went and just got absorbed into the nightlife and got distracted, whatever. Anyways, I was looking about, and then I seen an article for like military, and I liked the army, I liked the navy, but the Royal Air Force stood out to me because I like planes, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it, and chucked my application in, didn't hear back for a while, and then they got back to me, and I was like, oh god, what have I done? And the next thing, I was way down basic training in London, so done that for about 3 years, specialised as like a radar specialist.
Wow.
So I was in a bunker for 12 hours a day. That eventually got a bit boring, and I just fancied a career change. But when I left, it was about 2019, sorry, and COVID hit, and that just destroyed me. So I was actually in the house for ages with no job, and it was just a mess, and didn't really know what to do. And then I used to clean cars as a hobby, like for me and my mates and stuff. Used to clean the cars on the weekend, get them ready, blah blah blah. And I was like, why don't I try and make that into some sort of business? So started cleaning them at my mum and dad's house, and then got up a little bit of money through COVID and stuff. Neighbours were taking photos like, oh, you should go with stuff. Anyways, managed to get a van and chucked all my detail and stuff in it. Didn't even strap it down at first, so we're just going around the corner, all the stuff was flying over. And yeah, I built like a little business called JAC Detailing, and went around people's houses. They'd message the Instagram page and say, right, have you got availability? You know, drive to their house, clean their car, and that was like my income for about a year and a bit. And then I went down the wind farm route. So my uncles and a lot of my family are into like the boats and stuff and offshore. My dad works offshore as well. And then Eyemouth was basically like the hub for this big new wind farm. It was called Nartnagoth, or NNG for short. And this little orange boat came into the harbour, and it was, you could tell it was for a wind farm. It had all the stuff on the side, and there was an email address on it. And I was like, I'm going to ping them an email and just see what happens. Pinged them an email, didn't hear anything back for a while, and then the message back said, right, thank you for showing some interest, but we're full at the moment. I was like, okay. So I went back to cleaning cars, and then about a month later, he messaged, phoned, was like, we've got one shift spare, like we really need someone. And I was like, all right, okay. So I went down, and they got me on. I was just a complete noob, like I didn't know what I was doing, and that one shift, they just must have liked me or something, but that turned into like 2 years of employment. Went to France, went to Liverpool with them, done loads of wind farm projects and seen loads of good stuff. And that eventually turned into a big job at NNG, back at NNG, doing like safety inspections, so inspecting like all the safety equipment and that. And that was the point where I was like, I fancy something different. I think I get bored too easily. And that was about a year in, and I was like, you know what? I keep seeing these competition sites and I want to try that. And here we are. Like that's basically how I got here. And I thought about the idea for months, and it took me about 3 or 4 months just to even start, just with the sheer pressure and nerve wracking. But you know, once you start something, like that's the hardest part. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're worrying about it and building up to it, and you just never end up doing it. But you've just got to take that plunge, man. And I always live by, you miss every shot you don't take.
Exactly.
And I swear by it.
And you do, though. The whole point there, that boat.
Sorry if I rambled on there.
No, that's it, man. It's like we're showcasing the fact is that creatives are created by taking risk. A boat, what's the chances? A boat goes past, Jack's there and watching, and the boat had an email address on. I truly believe people's paths are presented to them when they're ready to hear it. And I maybe not as great as a boat compass, but that's.
And at first they said no, but then they said yes. So it's like, you know, what's meant to be will be.
And I think the fact is that it's a test. The business is a testament to you because you are the business. You are like people like Jack.
Which makes it difficult to have time off.
It will do, but also that the business is flourished because it's you that's behind the helm. People like I said, like last time, we talked to a lot of people that didn't know you before and now they know you, and they're genuine nice people. They'll know people who are just there to get something, you know. And it's nice, even in this area, it's nice to see that there is that part that people don't talk about.
It's hard to think that there's people out there that really like me that I've never really met before.
But that's the whole point. Yeah, humble creative, because we give ourselves a hard time because it's always like and what we've got to say is like normally 99% of creatives when they're starting out have a side hustle. Yeah. But this is your life's side hustle. So this is it. You know, and you've got a business that's always interchangeable. And as I said, I think on another podcast, I love seeing business logos changing. I've been there for the beginning when you started it, maybe not playing, but watching it grow and seeing the logo. See, when a logo changes, I think that's it, man. That's the progression.
It's wild.
It's the periodic table.
We built a park for a primary school last year, but that'll stay forever. You know what I mean? Like kids coming up through the years, like kids will move on to different things, but then the new kids will come in and they'll use that park, and you know, that's a permanent like structure.
You're building a legacy, and at a young age, you're 26 now, 25?
26 now.
26 now, and the fact is, you built a legacy on the top of a risk. Obviously, I've seen your parents that are dead proud of you, and you got to repay it back to your dad a wee bit there at the F1. So you got to see Jenson Button, and you just said he signed a pen. That's amazing, man. You know, people don't get the opportunities, but Jack comes from humble beginnings, man. It's like, you know, I like it when I hear that people are come from humble beginnings and they get to show the world, and to people who are lesser believer, like as I'm in the art world and all the other things, they don't believe in you, so you notice that, you can't help but feel it, but you also grow in that.
There's a weird like switch where like no one believes in you, and then all of a sudden it just goes
yeah.
Do you know
because you start believing in yourself a wee bit more. Right. I think like when you start going, you know, I can actually do this, you're testing the boundaries. And
you
then
just gotta keep pushing.
And then you see, it's like I've seen the lives, it's a natural thing. So I think the fact is that it's a big deal in this area, and it changes people's lives, and that's a huge impact on communities. And I think that people forget it's not just a gambling competition. The money goes back in. You're wise with it, you know, you go and do stuff, it's like you're smarter than you give yourself credit for. It's one of the businesses that will continue to grow, and you continue to grow in it.
We try and make it affordable and safe for everyone. Like we've got spending limits and stuff. You can go into your account and set them, and then once they're set, you can't change them. So we try and make it safe and fun and enjoyable, because there are some dark sides to gambling.
Of course, gambling is a tough thing. So if MDs out there, you know, play what you can. Don't play with what you've not got. But like I say, man, for the small amount that you can win, that's a great factor. So I know we're only just into the interview, but I'm asking questions, not just for me, man. I know people that are dying to hear what it is. I've got my Borders competition hoodie, by the way.
Yes.
I was one of the first.
You were the OG. I think you were the
I was
first.
the OG. I was the GOAT, man. And that goes everywhere with me. Took it to Ireland with me, and I had to take it off because it's coming up to a certain date. And I was like, oh my God. And as you can see, orange is my colour. But it's a busy business. Jack's busy. You have your partner who comes out and help you. I've seen that, and wee George is away travelling now as well. So I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how does Jack decompress? How do you, like, what do you do? Because your work is work-life balance. What do you do that really gives you that?
I love to travel. When I get the chance, I mean, I've been doing a bit recently. This was the first time ever since being away twice in a weekend, basically. So I was in Spa a couple of weeks ago at the Spa 24. Quite like motorsport, and all my friends do as well, which helps because then obviously they're interested. And you go with your mates, and it's a bit of crack and that. And then last weekend took my dad to the F1 at Silverstone.
Brilliant.
And it's funny because you mentioned it and I started laughing, and it's because I feel a bit bad for him. I mean, he had a few beers on board and he went up onto this Land Rover, which was like a DJ set thing.
I didn't know it was your dad in that picture.
Yeah, so there was a DJ on it before, like through the day, playing the tunes and that. So he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go up." Came up, it was fine. It was a bit wet, so he was coming back down and he lost his foot and slammed into the thing.
Jeez, man.
And we still had one night to go in these little tiny cot beds in a tent, and I think he's bust a rib or something. But you know, it's a memory.
Every time
you'll remember that.
What's your dad's name?
Derek,
every time you breathe in, you roll F1.
I had to drive home 6 years with him in the
Oh,
car. It was
man.
every bump. It was like, oh my God, radio up.
Oh my God, man. That's I did say I didn't know it was your dad. Actually, I should have zoomed in. But it's nice, man. Like to be
It's
able
good to be surrounded by people that love you and that's
and go places with you and
Yeah.
have that father and son time bond, because you do see in the you can see in the pictures that they're proud. Which brings me on to another guy. So we knew your granddad, and before I knew it was your granddad, we do a lot. What we do, and we went to the community of St Abbs, the lifeboat station.
Yeah.
And again, we went there, and he welcomed us into a community with one conversation, which brought us back. And you know, it's a testament to who you are and who he was, and still lives on with what you do, because I see a lot of that in it. And you know, like I said to Jack, like Nigel Jansel, by the way, we call Jan because she drives. So yes, we'll talk about Alistair invited us. We went to see Mark at St Abbs lifeboat station, and what a guy, what a humble guy, and you're a testament to his legacy as well. You know, like I say, we just sat there chatting, and I said off camera the last time, but this will make it official. Like, he inspired a book that we have yet to print and publish, because it's going to be done by me. But when we left his conversation, he inspired it, and I didn't get a chance to go and show him because it wasn't ready yet. I'd only shown Mark a couple of days before, so we'll put his name on that. But
he would have loved that one. So
he's just a community guy that
yeah.
just didn't see people. You hear me saying it all the time. People who freely give their information, they're the people who need to be protected. They're the communities that you were all begging for, and they're the people who are. They're out there, man. They're just scared to tell. And he wasn't a wilting flower.
No.
You know, it's like I get quite emotional even saying, like, me, Jan's my best pal. She's always with me when I say to people that, you know, that's a real person. And the last time when you came for the podcast, I said, you know, you can see a lot of Alistair in what Jack does. And again, I didn't know it was your granddad until we went his final day on this planet, and you were up the top, and I was like, oh,
that was a hard day.
I bet it's tough, man. But you know, they're no gone. They're always ways. The fact is that what they've gave us is far lives past us.
Yep.
and beyond.
Well, I mentioned to you, I can't remember where I said it. I want to carry his legacy on, because I feel like I learned a lot from him, and he was such a special, unique guy. So the least I could do in his honour is, you know, work really hard for him and show him what I'm made of. And it's weird actually, because this is a strange thing. So it's been, I find it very difficult for like news coverage and stuff. Like I've never really been in the news or anything like that, and it's a big achievement for me. Yeah. And just a few weeks ago, I finally got into the news of something I did. I was sponsoring the Berwick Charities Cup.
That's right.
That's played at the Stanks, which is like a big event every year. It's a charity event, raises money for local charities, and it's like a football tournament. Anyways, it got put into the paper, and my granddad worked in the RNLI for like 60
Since
odd
it started,
years.
aye.
Yeah, since it started, and then obviously the St Ab's Lifeboat went independent, so they went that way. But still, massively respected in that scene. And my article of me was on the back of the paper, and he always said to me, he's like, "Yeah, I can see you're going to be in the paper one day." And if you flip the paper on the other side, it was an RNLI.
Wow.
It was an RNLI event, and I was like, "That's him." I felt something there, and I was like, "What the
The
hell?"
thing is, though, is like I always say, is it God or is it odd? They're both the same thing. That like the white feather. People always say, "Oh, that's somebody looking out for me," and you'll never hear me say that isn't, because I truly believe that we have an energy in the world that surpasses our lifetime on here. That's a nice thing, man. I hope you kept a bit of paper.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them.
Get it printed, man.
Just
Aye,
in
that's like me
case.
when I have something. I'm like, let's get it. But as I said, there was a wee story he told me, and I like it when people freely just give me their stories. And
He was such a good storyteller.
Aye.
He always had a punchline.
He said that, like, he joined the boats and he was underage. He was meant to be
Yeah.
there. It's like, I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, I told everybody I was this age, and like we said off camera, I was like, he was a big guy. He was like, it just I was there." And he says, "I've been here for day one." I was like, I said, "What?" And then he said, "Come, we'll go have a cup of tea." That was the first time we'd met him, and we sat there. And if anybody knows, I don't like sitting in the sun, but because of the way he was telling the story, I felt a massive connection there. And we sat, and all the way home, I was like, "Jan, that was brilliant." She's like, "Look at you in arms." I'm like, "Take me home." But it was worth it, and we always went back, and we always, aye, what a guy, man. And you're a testament to him and your dad. The fact is that the two of yous are a reflection, and aye, it's nice to see. It's nice to join the parts of the journey up. But again, back onto who you are and what you do. Like I said, there's people out there that are doing the same as you, not as the high intense, and that's a big compliment.
You've got to start somewhere, though, I suppose.
It's a compliment, man. It's like if somebody's out there, flattery is the best. I don't know the words for it. I can't remember the
Just
words
make
for
it
it.
up.
I'm making it up. Flattery's brilliant, but flattery is the best compliment. That if somebody's doing something, there's enough out there for everybody to do it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point in this. Is like there's enough. We share this big, huge, vast world, but we seem to all think it's that small. It's like when I went out to Ireland, I heard 2 wee boys saying like, "This place will be tiny. How's all these cars going to fit on?" And I was like, that's from a kid's perspective, but there's adults out there that think the same. But it's great, and I see people out there with their brothers competition and stuff. But what advice would you have for somebody? By the way, again, I say it all the time, this isn't scripted. It's not scripted. It's just
If
two
you can't
guys.
tell, I'm terrible.
Two guys on the couch, and you'll notice for that wee bit of editing that I'm still not that clued up in computers. Me and Jack were earlier thinking, how's this not working again?
That's twice now. It must hate me.
It's a
It's
wee.
because I've got a MacBook.
It's a wee mate.
That's why it's that.
that'll
Windows
be
like, you know what, I hate this
You
guy.
can't. There's no crossovers in there, as you found hard. But what is the inspiration for you? You're a young lad. I can't really say halfway through your journey, but you're over the 20s and you're getting closer to the 30s, and you've achieved far more than somebody your age. What kind of words and wisdom do you have for somebody who is maybe younger than you that wants to try what you do, or what's the advice?
To be honest, I've never really noticed this in myself, but others have pointed it out, is that if there's an issue or something that's needing done, or like something that's broken or whatever, I will sit there and I will do my bloody best to try and fix that issue, and I won't go to bed or anything, and I'll do it, and I've continued that on since starting the business. I've done it in other jobs as well, but this one especially because it's mine, and I treat it like my little baby. And usually it's my own mess up, but if there's something wrong, I will sit there and fix it, and I think that applies to other things as well.
Yeah.
If the harder you put in, the more you put in, the more you get out. Is that the saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye, that's it. We're getting. It's warm in here. It's sunny. We don't know. We're making
There's
up.
two of you sitting there.
We're making up our own stuff now. Changing the future.
Yeah. So yeah, if there's any advice, I mean, make it your own. Find something that you love doing, and I mean, I think I said this on another podcast, is that it might not be clear at the start that it's something you love doing.
Yeah.
But because I love computers and I love being online and I love everything about it, building computers, blah 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 blah. that kind of led into this, and it helped me a lot because the whole website is online, and everything is built by website, JavaScript, HTML, PHP, and I love it. And I love it, and that's probably why I'll sit and fix an issue, because there's something inside of me that I just love fixing and making sure it works.
I think for yourself, somebody who's so, and I get to say this because I'm 43 this year, but somebody who's so young that's found herself, that's an achievement. And I guess that's a testament to why you give away so much, is that's your time. You're giving away parts of you, man. It's like, even when I said off camera there, it's like, you are giving away you, because you are the business. It's commendable, and it doesn't matter where you're going to go. You're still like sitting on the couch saying, no, excuse me, if there's mistakes, you're accountable for your own actions.
Yes, 100%.
That's how it should be. The business is built up on the foundations of Jack, and that's what this area and this world needs. Businesses and people who are ready to go.
Ready to do their own thing. You need to just do it and make it your own. And
do you know, when I say to people that this isn't a new concept, because I found that hard. We're just about to turn 5 on the 27th of July, and I'm smiling, but I was cringing at the time. The guy's like, this isn't new, you need to go and find competitors. I'm like, that's new, it's me, and that.
Yeah.
And then I was lying in my bed that night because I had a meeting with my business advisor the next day, and I was like, the aha moments that I've literally just been humbled while I'm like, I couldn't get back to sleep. If I could have phoned them there and then at 1 o'clock in the morning, I would have phoned. But I was humbled because it isn't a new concept. It isn't a new way of doing stuff. Oh, there I'm getting confused. It's a new way of doing it, but it's not a new business.
Yep.
There's things like this happen before, and that's where you tap in. You tap in. Other creatives generally have a side hustle. Then your side hustle becomes your main priority, and that's why we've had to have jobs in between.
Well, I had a job for the first 8 months or so, because the business wasn't making any money. Like it was never really a good business at the start. It was a hard industry to get into, because the people on the borders have never. A lot of people don't look at other competition sites. They had no idea what the concept was. So to get through that initial barrier and introduce it to everyone was really difficult, man. I lost loads of money. I
bet you did. I heard you on Borders Radio.
Oh yeah,
doing that stuff when you were first. I was in one of my first studios, and then that's when I was, I heard it and I was like, it's great to see that. When you've been there at the beginning and watching a business grow, there's nothing better than seeing the lights come on in somebody's hard work. It's like, and I can truly say that there's not many people out there that truly get somebody else's journey when they're doing it. It's nice to see. It's again a humbling moment to go, no matter, my granny says this, no matter how far along you are, never forget your arse. And it's true.
I like that.
Never forget where you come from, man.
100%.
And I remember when you started in a caravan. I used to sell caravans. I was like, that's an ABI Horizon. It's got no heating in it. They must be freezing. I was like, that must be freezing, that tomato.
Honestly, that thing burnt a gas bottle a day, man. It was so
it
inefficient. It was terrible.
But in the summer, it's alright.
Oh my god, the summer was crazy hot.
But it's not, like I say, man, you're changing people's lives. And how many businesses can say that? Truly, truly changing people's lives.
It's crazy. We actually just hit a milestone this morning.
I've seen that.
£150,000 donated.
That's brilliant.
And that's not just charity donations. That's like local event sponsorships and sponsoring local people, local talent, and helping out communities and stuff. Boxing. So. And
you said they had a massive milestone of people on the website as well.
Yeah, that was wild.
That is great.
That was wild.
Because we do live in a digital era, but there's a lot of people who they have the fear about digital age, and there is, and rightly so, there is a fear on it, but it's getting better. And to see a lot of people, and I don't mean this, by the way, don't shoot me, like all the old folk going on and using their phone and their own all the messages you get, like I said, the watching the lives, and I still play it. I give myself a wee budget and I go on and play.
That's the way to do it.
And then people on there going, they stay. I said that to you last time. They stay on.
Yeah.
They stay on. The one. It's like, where's the encore?
I know.
And they all. Here's another thing: how a successful business and the people have your back. The people also go on and they're like, well done, and congratulating the winners. That's where it's at, man.
There's a lot of positivity. 100%. You can obviously get some negativity, like people getting jealous of winners and not winning or whatever. Same people winning again, but the vast majority, like 95%, is just crazy
Yeah.
positive, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so lucky.
And it's nice that when you go out the country, you set up wee things like, I'm not a drinker, but the people who go to your local pub and
Oh yeah,
you
they're
put a
good.
tab behind that. Jack, I'm going to tell you is, even though I'm not a drinker, that's where community support and spirit comes from. Spirit, that's what I did there. My God, these are coming fast and thick. But you're out the country, you're meant to be having your own time and your own special time with dad, but you still set up. That shows you how much you care.
Yeah.
A business that actually gives. I swear I don't almost did I? Oh aye, the Jordan O'Keefe one. You'll see me and Jordan swear all the time. But you actually give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? And there's no many people out there. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. The fact is that you've gave your time a second time to come on the couch is a testament to you. And all you guys out there that support Jack and all you that are yet to support Jack, maybe no say this, but you know, yous are the ones that have made the business what it is. I've heard them say something similar before. Without yous, the business wouldn't be
there,
where it is. Aye. We wouldn't get to see Jack eating that tomato soup, you know. And his mum messaging him the other day saying your tomato soup's ready. What is it with the tomato soup?
Oh God. So this is when George was working here,
Aye, aye.
and we used to have some right good laughs, and that was.
We miss you,
brilliant.
George.
We do miss you, George, if you're
We miss you,
watching.
George.
But I think he's coming back. I don't know.
Right.
I don't really want to. He's having his own period. Do you know what I mean? I was like, you know, he came up to me. He's like, I want to go travel. I was like, absolutely fine. Like, you know, you're young, no ties. Get yourself out there. So, anyways, it was in the caravan actually. We're having lunch, and for some reason I had square bowls, and I'm not kidding. They were like the slippiest surface known to man. So put it in the microwave. Must put it in for like 4 minutes. Went in, done so, forgot about it. And then I came back. So, my tomato soup. So went back in. There was no oven mitts or out in the thing, so I picked it up, and I was like, oh holy shit, that is the surface of the sun. And ended up dropping it. The square bowl just went straight out onto me. Tomato soup everywhere. George was stood there with a photo like that. Straight away, I was like, fuck. So next thing you know, it was on the Facebook group, and it just stemmed from there.
Is that the dish towel?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
one with a dish towel, wasn't
dish towel. That's it.
Aye, aye.
And it just stemmed from there. I was like, everyone just kept commenting tomato soup, tomato soup. I got soaked in. I got burnt and everything, man. It was hot, and people started sending me cans of tomato soup, and a winner came and got his Ford Focus he won. And there was a crate of tomato soup in the back, so here's a bit for you, mate. It's
But something so
It's
simple
so funny, yeah.
brings it in. Again, it
And
comes in.
something to talk about.
It is, and it enhances. We went to a school. We were headhunting some kids for a project that we've no long finished, and they were up in. I'm like, what is that? And they're like, oh, Baldur's competitions. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, Jack tomato soup and all that. And I was like,
hilarious.
and there was another kid we went. It was a fantastic painting that he did. Where was it? It was at Rascals we went to visit. It was just a wee kid, and their mum must have won. And they're like, tomato soup, Jack. And I was like, but
That's brilliant, man. Honestly, that's so nice to hear.
it's like you show the kids in the future that that's what they're doing, and then you look back on it. So, and I try not to go too much into the. By the way, that's my guard dogs. If you can hear that on the camera.
They're big as well.
Hi, they are big. What's in the future for Jack? Forget about the business, right?
Forget about
Because
business.
what does Jack want to do outside the business? What's next for you?
That's a difficult question. I'm kind of a guy that doesn't really plan ahead. I live every day as it comes, but if I had to say that, I just want to be comfortable in life and
Yeah.
you know, live a happy life. But I'm a kind of guy that likes to be busy all the time, so I'm always going to be doing something, whether it be raffles or maybe a different venture in the future. I don't know, man. I don't even know if I want to. I don't even know if I'll stay in the UK, to be honest.
Aye.
Been thinking about it. I've been looking at it, but not for a long time. Maybe when I'm
Yeah.
older, maybe retire to Spain or something like that.
Everybody needs a plan, man, and it's like you did the same as what I normally ask that question when we're in schools to kids, and I don't say anything. And
Astronaut.
then, like things like that, and I'm like, good for you, but see the kids that don't know what they want to do. There's something special about that.
Yeah, no,
you know,
it's-
like it doesn't matter how old you are, how far you are, it can change at any point.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact is that they don't know. I'm smiling when I say that because
But
that
they're
is,
leaving everything open. Do you know what I mean?
they're open to doing or
Yeah.
trying, and they're the ones that will become
That's a
successful.
good
Aye.
concept. actually.
I'm very psychological
Mhm.
because I see things that people don't see in themselves, and
You say
sometimes
that to me as well. And I'm
Aye.
just that like, I don't know.
But it's not like if there's no somebody like me out there showing people how it is for me on the outside to see them both as a human being, but also as a autistic ADHD. I feel people's personalities, man. That's a tough thing to do. Like feeling energy in a room is dangerous, but it's also when like today we were at Paxton House and we were doing Teddy Bear's Picnic. I've got a costume for everything, Jack, man. I was there and it was roasting.
You got a beaver one?
No, but the wee hat I was wearing, I'll show you a picture of it later. It was doubled up. It was a wee bear. It was roasting.
Yeah.
But the kids' faces, you know, it's like when you
things,
exactly when you go and donate something to somebody, and you're not going to please everybody, but when you go there and you donate it for the heart, which brings me back to Alistair, you know, and him giving away the free stories to us, which has inspired a book, inspired a big painting that I showed you as you come up the stairs with Ian, who's painted it, which is the St Abbs Lifeboat Station. It's when people meet you on the journey, you get two types of people who will come and test you, and people who will come and join you.
Mm-hmm.
See the people who join you, you'll know them, you will 100% know them. Look after them. They're the ones that will truly make a difference in your life. Where did that wee journey take me? So the future's unwritten. It's whatever you make it, but the fact is you know where you're aiming for and how you're going to get it.
Yeah. I mean, every day is different, and I mean, I just try and deal with different issues different day and work my way through it. I don't really, it's quite a weird thing to say, but I don't really have the time or effort to think about that far ahead in a weird way, if that makes sense.
Nah,
I don't know.
I totally get it.
I'm always focused on something.
On the mission.
Yeah.
Focused on the mission statement. I said that to Jam when we watch your videos. I'm like, that boy's focused on the mission at 26 years old, and some people never. You don't know who you're inspiring on the outside.
No.
That's the fact is, and that's.
Well, when you went and seen the kids drawing the super, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
When we came to Paxton and we were busy, we were doing a gig, and you were there, and the inspiring the kids who are like, okay, if the people on the outside, oh, it's money, it's this. Unfortunately, that's how the world goes round, you know. But it's the inspiring. How does a kid know that is the moment where their life can change? Spinning a wheel. Life is spinning a wheel, man. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point. So when you spin the wheel, you get what you're given. But how do kids know that? Without spinning an actual physical wheel. Yes, it might be in the shape of a PlayStation. How do you know that kid's not going to go and then be a drone flyer for the RAF or you know, these things are like, see, once you break down the compounds of the world, it isn't as complicated as we make it.
No.
And that's a bit like what you're doing in the community. We are here in Kelso, and there's places here where we go that they talk about you. So you're humble enough not to.
It's weird when I do the live draws, because obviously I'm speaking to a screen, but there's sometimes like 1,000 people in there.
Aye.
Like, I try not to look at the number because it can throw you off.
It will.
But every time you join, you get the comments, and they're like, everyone's been so nice and lovely. But like before that, I'm just sitting quiet in the office, man, and I'm just like blah blah blah, and it gets to 5-2, and I'm like, shit, and I'm like, right, live draw on 3, 2, 1, and then I just go boom, and it just switched into this like I don't know, like this chatty person, but for the whole 12 hours of the day I've not spoke to anyone. And
I get that. I get that.
Yeah. So but it's just like in my brain, like I just tell myself that I've got to do it. That is the focus on the mission, is what you were saying.
The thing is, well, it's a tough job, man. You make it look so easy, but it's a tough job. But it's
I'm lucky that I like technical stuff, because if you were a bit like not too sure what that does, you'd be there for hours, man. And that's kind of what helped me out a lot. And
the reward is seeing people that change their lives, and that's great. And there will be people that they're like, aye, but he's making loads of money. Listen, I've sat and spoke to Jack, and yes, a byproduct of what people do is to make money, believe it or not. But the guy loses thousands of pounds, 20, 40, 45 grand on competitions. It's like, think of how much he gives away as well. Yeah. So maybe have
it didn't happen overnight. I mean, it's my livelihood, it's my job,
course,
it's my full-time job now. But yeah, it's a risk for me as well. So the fact that I can offer people the chance to win for really small amounts is, you know, it's just a benefit of the business. And people that don't appreciate that and go on Facebook and they just comment horrible stuff, they just get banned, and then they miss out on the free stuff I do and all the stuff that I'm offering, and they're not getting to enjoy that. So
that's the downfall. That's all I was going to ask you, actually. You know, the downfall of social media based business is
there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
It's tough, man.
And you have to be strong. if you got a weak mentality with that stuff,
Yeah.
you can get dragged down.
So
But that's what they want, man.
Of course it is. And the worrying thing is that a lot of them don't even know they're doing it.
Yeah.
That's the danger of the world. But people, places, and economic insecurity, these are things that you have no control over. And that's why, as long as you keep your side of the street clean, your business will always prosper.
Exactly.
100%.
You don't go to bed thinking, "Oh God, I've done that." Like
No.
I run clean by the book, so I don't have to worry, and that helps a lot.
Yeah, sleep
And,
easy at night.
There's actually a funny trend starting now called it's the Kevin trend. I
What's
don't
that?
know if you've seen it on the page. So this boy, he must have, I think he went on and spent a $5 or a $10 or something, and then he didn't even message, didn't even do anything, didn't win. Straight to Trustpilot, 1-star review.
Yes.
Fucking whatever, blah blah blah. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Like I deal with this all the time, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chuck it on the group for a laugh. I didn't say his name.
Yeah.
Well, his name is publicly displayed as just Kevin, so I was like, here's Kevin. Feel right sorry for him or something like that, and it just went boom, it went viral, and everyone was like,
But it's true though,
laughing
man.
that, and people. I actually had a few of my followers. Shout out to all them. So thank you so much. They actually came round to my unit and surprised me for my birthday,
I seen that.
and it was
Bit of
mental. And I was
emotional
like,
watch that.
yeah, it was crazy that people went through that effort, and they definitely shouldn't have. But the fact that they thought about that, and they actually got me like gifts and stuff, and it was like
Yeah,
but
send
everyone
back.
had a meaning.
Brilliant.
Like we do like a duck race on a live draw where we just put people's names in for free and win 50 quid or whatever. And one of them was like a pair of socks that had like the ducks on it and that. So that was meaning the duck race, and then there was a wooden spoon that had like Kevin. It had something about Kevin on the
Kevin
back.
Award.
Yeah, the Kevin Award. Like custom tomato soup t-shirts, like a big collage of like photos of all me and George and Freya and all that stuff through the years.
That's brilliant.
And it was so much thought, and to think that people had done that for nothing, just for the love of, it's
I have a dying question to ask you about
Uh-huh.
that though. Who tidied up all that mess?
one of them did actually.
Oh, whew.
Graham.
Yous are good
Ah,
people,
yes,
man.
good, man.
Good people.
Not only did they show up, they cleaned up.
The offenders don't watch the video, go to Porter's competition page and see it. They popped one of the cannons and it just went
everywhere, man. I'm still finding bits now, man.
I bet you, in his nose and his hair.
I'm actually peeling, like, I've got out on the sun, I'm like a snow globe, I'm like
Hey, man.
peeling.
There's more sun to come.
Aye, that's right,
And asked Jack off camera if we could come, and he gladly said yes, that we could come and do a wee piece at Where You Are. And I'm looking forward to that.
That'd be good.
It's great having people come on the couch and come on the show, but it's also nice to go and see how it is they operate and how it is where they operate. Maybe I'll get a tin of tomato soup. Quite like tomato soup, but
It's weird because this is a random story, but just on the topic, my road coming down into the office is like really bumpy and rough, and there's potholes and whatever. And someone actually hit it and burst the tire, and they came down.
Right.
And I was waiting for a winner to come pick up a motorbike. So this couple arrived, and I was like, "Oh, you're here?" Because I didn't know what it looked like. And they were like, "What?" And then they were like, "Oh, we've just broken down. I was wondering if we could use a charger." And I was like, "Oh, right, so now just come in." And then they came into the office, and their face just went, "Is this Borders Competitions?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is. Yeah, have you heard of it?" And she was like, "I did not think this would be run just in this little office, like." And I was like, "Yeah, this is it."
But people
I
just-
feel like they see it online, it looks like this big thing,
Aye.
and then but in reality, it's just me at desk like this, little dark room.
But and it rains and you hear the rain coming on the
It's
ceiling.
Yeah,
I like that. I don't
It's
like
quite
the rain,
peaceful.
but it's nice when you're inside and you're
feels
not
real.
outside. But it's the same as it's the same. We have a building, but this is half my workshop. It's like the power of perception, the power of persuasion, but it doesn't sway it away from the fact that you're a good guy and you're out there doing good guy things at a cost to yourself. And that's the whole point, is we lead for the front and we show, even all the negativity, because there's a massive amount of it that will shroud it. If you eat up all the negativity, then creatives won't be able to be creative.
well, I try and turn that negativity into positivity.
Yeah.
So, for example, the Kevin, the whole idea behind that was to sort of show that there is negative stuff out there,
Mhm.
and to try and make it into let's make this a bit of a laugh and fun, and because it can be detrimental to the business, and it can be
Of course you
detrimental
can,
to the
100%.
person running it.
So guys out there, man, it's like, you know what I'm all about. I'm all about just, I think I've turned into like a hippie. I'm all about peace and love and happiness and stuff, and like
You're wearing a lot of pink.
aye, today's a pink day.
You must be roasting, man. Is
I
that
am
like- is that
boiling.
cool?
It
It's
is.
like fluffy.
It is fluffy, but it's also
I'm
sweating, man.
here, man.
I think my tattoos are about to roll off me. But it's one of the things that there are good. See if you can't find the kindness out there, please become it. Try at least once a day to get there and do something that you don't do.
Yeah.
Like, people see me, I give away the wee tiny bits of painting, but you sure as hell know is I'm giving a part of me away because I don't feel that great that day, or I feel insecure or whatever. Just be kind, man, and that's the word of the day. What on a last? I've got loads to ask you, man, but we've got limited time. What would you? I don't want to ask all the questions like that. So, Jack, what's for the future of Borders competitions? Where do you see it? Is there anything exciting that you can reveal to us here? If you don't, that's all right, because I know
there's a couple of things. Yeah, there's a couple of things. There may or may not be some sort of property coming, and I've always wanted to try one, but they're so expensive and they're so hard to sort, because we offer a cash alternative on the prizes. So if you went away and bought a house and they took the cash, you're like, and you got to sell the house, and it's like you can't just sell a house now. It's like all this legal sugar. So that's on the cards. I've not got one, but it's just where I would do it. Like you know, I've got an audience from quite a far stretch now, and it's like where would a raffle for property at, or maybe even like a static caravan, man. Like, you know,
I spoke to my mate, and that's what we spoke about. I was like, nice. That's a good.
You can treat it as a holiday home. You don't have to live in it.
Exactly.
Was it 1 month a year you have to be off it or something?
I'll talk to you off camera.
Okay.
I have an idea. I've always got an idea, man. That's a good. That is a good one. And again,
maybe even like a cabin in a car or so. Do you know what I mean? That'd be cool.
I like the. I'm making it selfish now. I like the camper van you did.
Yeah.
I've got to do another one.
I've still got that, man.
Aye, did they take the cash? Don't tell it.
Yeah, bless him. His wife had like disability issues.
So couldn't get in it.
You just took the cash. Yeah.
I'm excited, man. This is it's a 4-parter now, but I'm excited to come out and see what it is you do and where you do it.
That'd be great to show you around office and show what gets done and whatnot.
And we'll get some content for the old tick of the talk as well.
Oh yes.
Borders competition have a TikTok as well, and you can find them on all the social media platforms. For the guys who aren't following or from here, because we know there's a few in all different countries, give them a follow, man, and
you'll be welcome with open arms.
Have a wee shot, see what you think, or
even just join in for the bands. It's good.
But I go on sometimes, I'm like, should I enter that? That would have been me. I'm not joking. I'm probably the most least self-centered person on the planet, and see when you do get a win, man, and you phone Jack, I was like, I'm ashamed myself. It's like, by God, man, because now I'm that guy that's on the phone that I see other people on the live. I was like, I've won it, man. It's like, and I'm confident on the outside. I'm quite shy on the inside, and it was nice. And again, for me and the team, you really gave us a massive lifeline for the last 6 months, and now it's paying off for us.
That's brilliant, man.
It's nice to repay it and get you on. But that's the end, man, but not quite the end. I'm not going to get Jack to pick his moose out because he picked his wee moose out.
I can take another one.
No, man, you're going to miss it out. We can't wait till we get.
I'm a gambling man.
Wait till we get to 10, and we'll be able to show you where it is we're doing. But honestly, thank you very much for your time. And guys, listen, if you are wanting to support us, go over to jagar82.com and you'll see many other stuff. There's loads of new stuff going on there. Jack gets to see some of the products that I've just
honestly check out. It's phenomenal work.
It's quite interesting that the new stuff will come, and we can't give you any of the exciting stuff that we're up to because it's not there yet. But honestly, Jack, thank you very much for your
James,
time.
Thank you so much for having me.
And if there's anything we can do, let us know. I'm enjoying your journey, and the Jagar 82 team are right behind you, and I look forward to seeing what the future brings for you.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Likewise. To seeing you back, George.
George, get your ass here.
Get yourself back, man. Get that tomato soup. But no, honestly, thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
And look forward to seeing you again.
Brilliant.
Listen, guys, remember, if you can't find the kindness, please just become it. I wasn't always like this, so I know there's another side to the world, but we can make it a bit lighter and brighter. That's the job. Stay safe. Bye bye now.